Hello everybody, this is Talking Sports alongside Randy Page. This is Rob Layton, and Randy, we were at training camp today and it was kind of a slow day.
Yeah, I mean it was like nice pleasant afternoon in the Valley of the Laurel Highlands, and I mean the guys wore their shoulder pads, but I mean they had shorts on, and like it was just a very, I mean there was some light hitting, and I mean a little bit of hitting, especially between the receivers in the secondary, but really kind of a quiet day. They're just easing into things right now, and I mean I'm sure they'll pick up business as the camp goes on.
What are some of the training camp battles that we should watch?
Well, the one battle right now has got to be the running back position. You got Rashard Mendenhall on the physically unable to perform list right now, and you have a lot of guys battling cut back from injury, such as Jonathan Dwyer and Baron Batch, who was the sensation in camp last year before he tore his ACL. And then, of course, you got the X factor of Chris Ramey, the fifth-round pick out of Florida, and that he returned some kicks today, and that he also looks like he's going to be the return man for the early going for the Steelers, at least as far as the preseason goes. And there's also battles on the defensive line as well, as right now the established new order, if you will, Cameron Hayward and Zicky Hood are in line, and that there's going to be some guys who are going to be battling to try and get some playing time out in there. And then there's the secondary, which I mean while Ben and Byron made some nice throws, it kind of set up a red flag this early in camp to see the secondary kind of pick up where they left off at the overtime of the Denver game.
What about special teams?
Special teams, I mean, no sign of Jeremy Capanos today. I think he was just taking the Sunday off. And they have Drew Butler, son of former Bears kicker Kevin Butler, out there, and I mean he hit the ball pretty well with his foot today. And Sean Swisham even took a few punts, and I could see like him being an emergency punter if the situation arrives. And I also did see Swisham practicing the onside kicks, and hopefully they won't need them. But it's nice to get, it was a very good practice as far as the special teams were concerned today.
What about leadership on the field now?
Well, leadership on the field, the torch just keeps passed. I mean, like with Chris Hoke retired, Aaron Smith retired, and James Ferrier kind of shown the door. And now the torch has been passed, and Brett Kiesel is going to be a big leader on the defense, as well as Casey Hampton. And then as for linebackers, now Lamar Woodley can take a leadership position, and I think he's going to be a catalyst, and hopefully keep James Harrison in line. And how I think Harrison is still going to hit hard, but I just hope that the league office doesn't hit as hard like they have in the last 2 years for Harrison.
What about on the offensive side?
On the offensive side, it begins and ends with Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben is coming into, a lot of people say, the prime of his career right now. And I mean, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and Ben is going to have to take leadership and, I mean, show how the Todd Haley offensive system is going to work. I mean, there are going to be some adjustments between him and the Bruce Arians offense that he ran in previous years, but I think Ben is the guy to get the job done, and he's certainly going to be helped with the receiving core. I mean, even without Mike Wallace, I mean, Antonio Brown has now got stability with the nice new contract, and Jericho Cotchery also is going to provide some veteran leadership as far as the receivers go.
What about the adjustment period for Todd Haley's offense?
Well, right now, I mean, you figure they got the plan at minicamp and went through OTAs trying to learn the offense, and we didn't really get to see much of the offense today. I mean, like they did show like a few screen passes and a lot of underneath stuff. It seemed that the quarterbacks weren't trying to really air the ball out as much. I only saw like 1 or 2 deep passes just attempted, and that I'm sure that as the week goes on in practice, that they are going to add a few extra elements, and then come Thursday the 9th against Philadelphia, they'll show some of them, and then a little bit more the following week, and then by the time they get ready to play September 9th in Denver, it will be there, and hopefully it'll work very well.
Okay, and also let's get on to another subject. The Pirates, they lost today, but they took 3 out of 4. Just made a big deal with the Astros. They got Wandy Rodriguez. How is it going to help the pitching staff?
Well, the pitching staff is going to be bolstered by Wandy Rodriguez. His presence is going to be strong, and another important thing, left-hander. That's been a big issue. I know that they only had one left-hander in the the side with yeah, they only had the one left-hander with Bedard. It'll help bolster the starting rotation. Although I'm kind of leery that it was at the expense of Kevin Correa, and I mean Correa did. He pitched a strong 6th inning today, but not so strong 7th inning that turned a 6-2 deficit into a 9-2 deficit. And like, you can't win against any team when you have a deficit that big. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Correa is a resilient guy, and I mean he'll bounce back, and hopefully the rotation will stay just as sharp as we're heading into the critical month of August. And I'm sure everybody remembers the Bucks were 8-22 last August, and they cannot afford to have another August like that if they want to stay in contention.
Do you think Neil Huntington will get another bat in the lineup?
Well, 2 days left in the trading period, and stranger things have happened. I'm not sure if, I've heard rumors of a lot of different players, from Hunter Pence to Shin-Soo Choo of Cleveland, but I don't buy into the rumors, and I think if they stand pat, they stand pat. If they get another bat, then I think it would help. The only thing is, who would they give up? I mean, it was kind of tough to see that the Pirates part ways with Rudy Owens, who was their 2-time minor league pitcher of the year. But it seemed like a win-win situation. The Pirates get a bolstering of their rotation with the addition of Wandy Rodriguez, and Houston gets another building block in their rebuilding.
Okay, will Andrew McCutchen be league MVP this year?
That's if he keeps it up, I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be. The only thing is that because it is voted on by the baseball writers, they may there are some that still say that Matt Kemp would be a candidate, even though he did miss a significant amount of time with the hamstring, and that there are a lot of other good ball players on the winning teams that are putting up MVP numbers. But I can't see anybody who's done as much as Andrew McCutchen. And the one criteria that they never say, but it's always been assumed, is that if you take this guy out of the lineup, what happens to the team? And that you figure if McCutchen was not in the Pirate lineup, the Pirates would be a lot closer, if not below, the 500 mark than being 14 games over 500.
Getting back to Neil Huntington, will he get a contract extension as well as manager Clint Hurdle?
I can't see any reason why they wouldn't. I mean, right now, when Huntington made those trades back in 2009, when he traded away Nyjer Morgan, traded away Nate McLeod, he pretty much, while he didn't come out and say it, it seemed that the mantra was implied that he was building for 2012. 2012 is here. The Bucks are still double digits over 500 despite the loss today, and I think it just means he's delivered on his promise. And Clint Hurdle has done a tremendous job. I mean, I will admit, was a bit skeptical considering he was 96-116 after taking the Rockies to the World Series in 2007. And then, but he has been, he's made a believer out of me, and a lot of people in Pittsburgh are believing that the Bucks can have some October baseball.
Okay, now let's shift to the Penguins momentarily. Sidney Crosby signed a long-term contract, but there were a lot of concerns about his concussions. Will he have any problems going into next season if there is a CBA approved by the NHL Players Association?
Well, I figure the CBA has got to be approved. I mean, they cannot afford another lost season. They hammered it out last time because of all the small market teams like your Columbus Blue Jackets, your Tampa Bay Lightning, and your Florida Panthers, and even one of the small markets, it still didn't help. I mean, like Atlanta really isn't considered a small market population-wise, but the hockey fans didn't come there, and they sold off to a group that's put the team in Winnipeg, and the fans in Winnipeg were eagerly anticipating a return to the NHL. And I have heard rumors that Wayne Gretzky himself has talked about trying to put an expansion team in Seattle, which would be a good thing, but you really can't have an uneven amount of teams. It's like, where would you put a second expansion team? And there are a lot of candidates up in Canada. I know Regina, Saskatchewan's been discussed, and as well as Hamilton, Ontario. But I know Hamilton is they've been wanting hockey in the NHL for so long, but Buffalo and Toronto don't want any piece of that. And that the CBA, I don't think expansion will happen without the CBA, but once a deal gets set, and hopefully it'll be a good deal for both the management and the players, and that it should come together so that the team will become the league will be as successful. I mean, they've really gained in revenues, they've gained in TV ratings, they've gained in presence since the last CBA, and they should just try to continue all the good stuff that they've achieved in the last 5 years.
Okay, getting back to the Penguins, Marc-Andre Fleury had a terrible playoff. With the acquisition of Thomas Vokoun, is goaltender a concern for the Penguins going into the season?
I would not say it's not a concern. I know that the Penguins were looking to get some extra insurance in goal. They figured Brent Johnson was not going to be that answer, and I'm sure that I'm not sure if it's Ray Shero, Dan Bosma, or somewhere in the Penguin organization. They're not sold on having Brad Thiessen as the established backup goalie to Fleury. And Fleury is he was shaky, although the defense was just as shaky in the playoff series, and that I'm sure that those things are going to be rectified as the year goes on.
Okay, what do you think about the coverage of the Olympics so far?
Well, so far so good. I know that I tell you, it was an incredible opening ceremony. I mean, like, to get the Queen of England and James Bond together, that was something else. And I tell you, about the only thing that the opening ceremony didn't have was Austin Powers. Now, yeah, technically he's Canadian, but I mean, he could. I mean, like, some of his dance moves were being shown in that salute to British rock, and hey, you could just sing, yeah, baby, and behave for the coverage. And the coverage has been. I have enjoyed that. I mean, I've just waking up 9 a.m. to see a live boxing match or a live soccer match. That's living the dream. And I mean, I know it's because London's 5 hours ahead of us, but I enjoy that NBC and their wide variety of networks are putting on Olympic coverage, and that I hope it sticks up for the next 2 weeks.
Okay then, alongside Randy Page, this is Rob Leakin talking sports. Thanks for watching.